Welcome to Creative Juices. Today we're doing everything backwards. We're starting with the outro and we're going to finish with the intro. So this is the intro. My co-host today at Creative Juices and every single day at Creative Juices is Camilla Udeum.
And my co-host is Marcus Schilling.
Yeah, Marcus Schilling, that's my name. We'll be doing everything in English, but our website, if you want to check us out, is www.creativejuices.se. And SE stands for Sweden, because that's where we are recording out of.
Yes.
So our hope is to provide you with some interesting content. It's going to be different things, maybe every week, maybe every other week. Hoping to have guests. We've got some interesting people lined up to talk about creativity.
Yeah, people we were interviewing and watching their work, and also gonna post their work on our website.
Yeah, so if you want to contact us, there'll be a lot of information there. You can send in poetry or pictures, obviously links to where you guys have got your social media things. And if you want to be a guest on an upcoming podcast.
Yeah, so you can send it forward to info@creativejuices.se.
Mm-hmm.
And we will pick it up from there.
Yes, we're going to have a YouTube account where you may be watching this right now, hopefully on Spotify if you're just listening right now.
Yeah.
Which I think you're going to set up because I still have a fear of Spotify.
Well, I already had it set up, so it's...
Oh, really? Yeah. We'll have to have links for that one as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so very welcome on this journey to outer space, to inner space, to the backwards, to the intro, to the outro, to Creative Juices.
Yeah. So we're going to figure out together, what is creativity? How does it feel? Where does it start? Is it different for everyone, or is it the same? Or is there a red thread through all? So we're going to explore together with you, what is creativity? And how do you get more juice?
Okay, so we are back at Creative Juices. Today we do not have a guest, but we do have a guest in the studio because we're going to interview each other, but not interview each other as such. Yeah. Well, we can start with that anyway. Why not? What do you find creative? What are your main outlets? Is it writing? Is it painting? Is it spoken words? Are you an actor?
It's like all of the above. And also, really...
Is there anything that you've done with acting I've seen you in?
No.
You've not been like an extra?
I'm not like you. I'm not like a famous YouTube person being on stuff.
We're talking about you right now.
No, I haven't been in anything that you can see me on, except for maybe being on LinkedIn and stuff like that. So, but I do love just writing, painting, speaking, acting. Also, music is a really good outlet, and dancing is also.
Yeah, well, dancing one of your specialty things that you were doing growing up.
Yeah.
Was dancing.
So dancing and football.
Dancing and football.
But dancing was more like the outlet of creativity and feelings, and football was more like just getting energy out. Actually,
I've never tried competitive dancing. I don't think I ever will. I don't think I'll have time for that now.
Well, maybe we can try sometimes.
I mean, we could do a whole section about dancing, or we should do things that that I've never done before, and then you should do activities that you've never done.
Yeah, maybe we can try it out.
Because that's like another thing I was thinking about talking about. Is like, at what age do you stop being creative?
Yeah.
I don't think you stop whatsoever.
Yeah, well, you do stop, or I feel, for me in my life, whenever I am in a bad place, or I feel really drained, or I am too stressed, or I feel anxious, or those times my creativity stops directly. Like,
I think it's a thing of like you get used to a routine, and you're stuck in the routine. Like, okay, you go to work, fix foods, activities with the kids and everything, and then you kind of lose your own. So, when was I going to have my time for doing that?
Yeah.
And the worst thing is like if you have like an idea sometime in the middle of the day and you don't write it down, you're like, I'll remember that one later. It's like this one I will do, and then
you don't.
It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, yep. And what was the idea? And then did I even have an idea? That would be the worst bit if you don't even remember that you had an idea.
Yeah. But usually you do remember that you did have a really good idea that you don't remember. uh, but also just being playful.
Yeah.
I think really creates the juice in me. Like that's really where my energy comes in, and where I can start being creative again.
Yeah, no, I find that as well, and giving yourself time for that, but also not not the traditional things. You think, okay, I'm going to find inspiration. Let's say I plan a trip to a museum
Yeah.
to look at things, to have that, and then at the end of it, you think, oh, I didn't get inspired by anything on that one,
Yeah.
because it's not a thing that you can force. So I'm not sure where the information comes from. But for example, yesterday I was delayed going to where I was to do in town because there's so much snow here in Stockholm. Like shock horror, Sweden. There's lots of snow in January. What was I thinking? But I got very inspired, like just listening to music, just like to random like B-sides of The Cure. And I was like underneath a bridge, and the snow was coming down, and I was thinking I was writing like lyrics in my head of different things, but I was inspired by the music and then the situation.
Yeah.
But what I was doing essentially was that I'm transporting myself from one place to another. The space in between is where you have to let the creativity happen. And you wouldn't think it's like, yeah, I have to go on a bus drive today and everything's delayed and snow is coming down, nothing can happen. But those are the kind of the moments you've got to have these maybe tentpole moments in your day, but you shouldn't be like, okay, this is the moment where I'm going to have this inspiration, I'm going to do things. It's like, let yourself have the free time in between that, and then if the inspiration hits you, then it does. If it doesn't, then it won't do.
And I find that if I've done something playful before, and then I have some space, like you said, in my day, even if it's just me meditating or having just not a lot of things to think about, then it comes. Like there can be a thought or a word or a feeling or a color sometimes, or music. Like something hits me like, okay, wow, this is really, and then I go with that, and then it comes, the inspiration.
Yeah, I was thinking as well, like in duress. Let's say you're going through your regular things in life, and we're so much run by schedules nowadays. I think now more than ever, you have to be a certain place for work. You have to be a certain place to pick up something, and you get a message on your phone. You pick up this package at this place. But if you let yourself have a bit of chaos in your life, like something doesn't go to plan, let's say your car breaks down and you have to, let's say, walk 2 hours to go get petrol. I'm not going to guarantee you, so don't do this. Don't be like, I'm going to drive off into the wilderness without any petrol. I'm thinking when you get the moment where you're a bit scared and your brain maybe goes an extra gear, you're like, okay, how do I fix this? How do I do this? On that walk, probably on the way to the petrol station to get a can to fill up your car again. Let's say you don't have an electric car in this case.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a petrol or a diesel. On that walk there and back, I'm sure that's when you'll see something like, oh, there's a tree there, which gives me a thought of an idea or a place where I used to grow up or whichever. And I think the ideas will come around then. So what I want to get to in this one is you shouldn't be like, I have to have a trip to a museum or an art gallery to find inspiration. Create space in your life so that you have enough of the free time to let the chaos seep in.
Yeah.
And whatever colours that'll be, then that's your brush.
Yeah.
That's your path.
Yeah, and you call it a chaos, and for me it's more like the energy. Like it's an energy that gets me to different stages, different emotions, different thoughts, different words. Sometimes it just starts with a word and then somehow it's a book. So it's interesting, but also like letting yourself into that outlet, letting yourself, okay, if you feel like just putting a pencil on a canvas, just do that then.
Yeah.
Just that little step will help you.
I got to think about, I had an art teacher at school who said something about that, but I misheard him. So he said, so when you put, like, it's just like a pencil, he said, take a line for a walk and see where it ends up. But when I was in, I think it was like seventh grade, and I heard that, I thought you said take a lion for a walk.
Ooh.
So it was like you have a lion and you're taking it for a walk. It's like this lion is going to escape from the zoo. And
Yeah.
I wasn't much for drawing anyway. I was more for making. So I personally, I'm not very good at drawing pictures, painting, drawing wise. I like to tell stories with words rather than creating visual images.
Mm.
So my idea was about this lion who escaped and was heading off, or somebody had let him out of the zoo when he was off on an adventure by himself.
And then you had a story, and your friend or companion could do the painting, the drawing.
Yes, I suppose so.
That's the thing. We can help each other out.
Yeah, we could. We're all good at different things and have different aspects that we are, different expertise that we're good at.
Yeah, but where you find your inspiration, where you find like, oh, I should really settle down with my computer or my paper and just write, because I feel right now, I feel like writing something. And then you should just do that, because whatever comes out, that's the thing that should come out. And then you're going to build on that, or maybe you will throw it in the trash, but you still got it out of your system, and then you can start in another one.
And that's kind of what we want to do when we have these interviews with people, because obviously we want people to explain their work and what they do, but I think you're the same. We're more interested in the process.
Yeah.
How do people find the time for creativity in our modern world in which we live? How do they find, not just the things that inspire them, but how to practically put it down? Is it on notes, on paper? Do they have like a notepad with them at all times? Do they use their phones?
We have as you see, we have a lot of questions that we're gonna ask our creative people out there. So if you want to be with us, you want to have all our questions, please let us know. So we have a lot of exploring to do with our questions.
Yeah. So when in the day do you find the most inspiration? So is it like an early morning thing? Is it around lunchtime? Is it after you've had a lot of coffee, if you drink coffee? Or is it at the end of the day when you're trying to, because you know how the mind works with dreaming and everything, and what we take in and how we process. There's different cycles throughout the day. So Camilla, my question to you is, when do you usually feel you're most creative?
It's a really good question that doesn't have one answer for me. For me, it could be whenever. I mean, it could be straight when I wake up. I've had a dream. I have something that lives in me that I need to just write down. And then I might come back to it. I might write the whole thing at once. I might scribble something. Sometimes it's in a meeting where I might space out. Guys, I'm sorry. That's what I do sometimes. And I make a little, it could be a little fluffy thing or whatever on a paper. And that could be something that I take with me and do something about later. But it can also be like in the middle of the night, I just can't sleep. Just sit around and just take my pen and paper and just write whatever comes to mind, because something is in my mind that makes me not able to relax. So actually, I don't have one answer. I have like, it can hit me whenever, but it's usually when I have the space that you talked about, when it's not, I don't have all the to-dos in front of me. When I have all the to-dos in front of me, I'm usually pretty focused, not always spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
When in the day, Marcus,
Yeah.
do you find your most inspiration?
So my most inspirational time of the day, I'd have to say, is the morning time. I'm a morning person, most definitely. Even when I'm not working, I'm up usually before 7. So if I have a day where I naturally wake up about 6 o'clock, and it can be that I try and get back to sleep or something, then usually there's so many thoughts start appearing in my mind. I've got to write these down, and I can start writing and write a story in the morning time, and then I can come back to the story in the evening time. And I'm like, this. I feel it's not even the same person who started writing. It's just looking at it now. And then maybe the day after, I wake up early, and if time, gives the permission to do that, if there's not a lot of other things going on, then I can rejoin the story and get back and write to it for an hour or so. But it's usually only about an hour or so in the mornings.
Yeah.
But I usually have more free time in the evenings. That's harder. I've got to kind of rearrange, I think, how I do things, since I've identified that the mornings are the time where I can be most creative and have most ideas.
Maybe where you have the most space then.
I think so. I think that's what it's about, really.
Right.
About feeling like, okay, it's a new day and the kind of rules and structure hasn't been formed for the day yet. So therefore it can go anywhere. And I think for me personally, when I've established, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to fix this thing has to be done, then the creativity is pushed out. I'd like to know, like, if there is a physiological reason for this, or if it's just something that I've made up in my own mind. I think it might be a mixture of both.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, you said yesterday you had a creative idea, but that was also on the evening.
That was in the evening.
Right.
That's why I was like, this is something I wanted to talk about today, because it was very different for me to feel that way. And I think I have to do that more often. But I think I have to put myself in different situations than I usually do. I think I'm a creature of routine quite a lot. And when the day...
That's human.
It is. And that's the thing. We can't discount being human here, unless we're going to start interviewing animals. Co-host Camilla Odeon.
Yes,
I have a question
chilling.
for you. How does Bob Marley like his donuts?
I have no idea.
We're jamming.
We're
That's good. Have you heard that one before?
jamming.
We're jamming.
I have not.
You have not?
That was a new one.
Okay. It's definitely not a new one. It's an old one.
Well, for me, it was new.
It's an old one, but it's a good one.
Oldie but goodie.
Yes. So we're talking about age and creativity.
Creativity.
Exactly. I think Bob Marley has a son. Does he live in Sweden, does he?
Is he as creative as Bob Marley?
It's called Ziggy Marley. I mean, you've got a name called Ziggy. I mean, if it's on your driving license, you've got to be
Ziggy
creative.
Saggy?
Ziggy Saggy. Heter han så.
I have
Sorry,
no idea.
people don't understand Swedish. Do I understand Swedish? Ziggy Zaggy. And he writes songs, and I think he sings the songs of his father.
So he's kind of creative.
Well, I hope so. But is it creative if you just sing someone else's songs, or do you have to come up with your own ones?
Well, it's just...
But performance is creativity as well.
Yeah, I mean... And it's how you perform and what feeling you get other people in when you perform.
That's the thing, isn't it? I remember, like, in the 90s, because I'm quite old, there was this band called Milli Vanilli, and they were, like, hounded after they found out that they didn't... Not only did they not write their own songs, they weren't even singing their own songs on the record.
Oh.
They were just the people who were on stage dancing and miming to their songs. But they got, like, gold records and stuff from that. And then they got everything taken away, and they were made fun of for years. But now, in, like, 2026, so
Everyone's
many artists are doing exactly the same thing.
Everyone's doing that.
Like, should we give them the gold records back? Should we be like, yay, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for Milli Vanilli? But that was right for that time. But for this time, maybe people don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
So we're talking about time. We're talking about age.
About age.
Do you think it is a myth that people get less creative as they get older?
I do actually think it's a myth.
I phrased the question as such because I think also it is a myth. I think that we have certain factors around in life which leads people to become less creative or believe in themselves.
Less.
That exactly.
Yeah.
That they are maybe in the search of financial gain, of popularity, and they think, oh, I've got to do everything before I'm the age of 27 or whichever. And if I don't achieve that, then I'll never write again, I'll never sing again, I'll never draw a picture again, because they feel maybe that they compare themselves to other people in the world, other artists and people who are young prodigies maybe, who got that way when they were like 10 years old, that they made a...
Yeah, but I mean also a lot of the people that are really successful have had other things to do. So they might have worked in a hamburger place, or just
You worked at a hamburger place.
I did.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, they usually do other things, but they're so passionate about their creativity that they can't stop create.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So so I don't think it's about age, but it might be societal. It might be like the pressure around being creative, and should you really be doing that when you can laundry, or you can like clean the house? And
like a social guilt around certain things. Like, should you take time for yourself to be creative?
Exactly. You're just lazy, you don't want to be with me. All these things come to pass when we try to be creative as adults. And it's easier, of course, when you're in school, or because then you don't have all these responsibilities and stuff like that.
I think as well, people could be disheartened quite easily at an early age, especially maybe if the teenage years, and they put their heart and soul into something and told by somebody older that no, this is no good what you've done, or you sing terribly out of key, or you've painted something which we're going to just throw in the rubbish straight away. And at that age it creates something really sharp inside the person. It's like, no, I'm not going to paint anymore, because
I'm not even going to try, because I'm so
they don't want to get hurt again that way.
This hurts.
And that way we maybe have created a society, a whole legion of adults who are scared to kind of go outside of these boundaries that were created. To be like, okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna write a poem, and I'm gonna go up on a stage, and I'm gonna recite my poem in front of people.
And being creative is I was talking about this with a couple of students in a design high school, or I think it's and they were talking about being creative and putting your soul into something, and then always having these judgments on the thing you created. And that, as you said, it can be really disheartening, but it can also light a fire, like going the other way around and choosing to become even better, and choosing to hone your work even more, and like put in more effort, more energy into it. And sometimes it can go to the extreme where you just put your own light out, because you're just putting too much into it. You don't it's not sustainable. You don't take care of yourself in the way that you should. And then there's also other people saying, well, I have my best inspiration when I'm sad, or I have my best inspiration when I'm really, really happy. Or so there's all these factors, but I think the age is not one of them.
No, I don't think so either. I think people being disheartened can be like the saddest thing, because if you think about what is creativity in its base, what is the creative juice? It should be the thing that comes to you and is inside you, and whatever it is, you've got to get it out, to write it, to sing it, to perform it. But it shouldn't be a thing that's judged by other people. Now, how we get things to work in society, to an extent, you have to send a piece of art in to get a test, to get a grade, to get this, because we've created these things as a society. But I think how creativity works, it should be a free-flowing thing. And it should be the last thing that should be judged, because you shouldn't be like stifling people who've got this to get out. And
because what happens when you judge something, you stop the flow.
Exactly. You're like, okay, we have to stop this now and do this. It's not like taking a driving test. Driving test is maybe the opposite of creativity.
It's very processed.
It's like that we have these rules and we have to follow them, or these things can happen. There's no real gray zone, as you'd say. There's no like, okay, this is slightly, it's maybe okay to run a red light this time if the moonlight is the right thing, and this, I mean, that's not the case at all. There's rules. We're talking about how to paint a sunset. You can in so many different
so
ways.
many different ways, and in so many different feelings. I mean, a sunset can be really sad, but it can also be the best thing in the world.
Now I'm thinking about a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So the people who draw the pictures which are in like the driving license books,
are they
creative? Because they're following the texts, obviously, which are written, but they're like, okay, I've got to draw this. It's like a three-way crossing. Who does this?
Maybe we should figure out who that person is.
And I'd like to interview them.
And then we can interview them.
Like, what's it your goal in life? To be the person who does the illustrations in the traffic safety guide.
And how many else illustrations do they make for what kind of books?
And do people like get better grades or pass like quicker if the illustrations
are
better? No, I mean not like clearer, but I mean if they're artistically they like, because maybe that's another idea then.
Right.
If they would create a memory somehow, it's like, oh, I can remember this because people like learn information in different ways. Some people I'm very audio based.
Yeah.
That's why I like podcasts. I like listening to things.
Hence we're here.
Yeah, so I can recount more information but listen to things. But obviously there are people who like written words and they like to maybe write down things they see and then they can follow the information better. But the people who like a visual stimulation, they can see a picture on a page, and if that person doing the traffic guide has done an amazing illustration,
that's good.
And then when they're in the test and they're doing the test, like, I remember they drew this in such an amazing way, then
they should pass. Yeah.
And then if they do that and they pass, but do they give any credit to the people doing the illustrations?
Probably not.
They are the unsung heroes of the traffic community.
They are, but there are a lot of unsung heroes around. A lot of people writing really good things, acting, singing, doing song performers, making poems that are never heard or seen or praised.
And that's the thing. And if people, and maybe it's a sad thing with people, I don't know, maybe we're thinking about the idea with age again. Maybe if you're writing things and you're, let's say, over the age of 60 and you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to be a professional writer, whichever, it shouldn't limit you whatsoever with the age. But let's say you are writing and you're that age, but you're just writing for yourself and you get a joy out of it. And let's say you get up every morning and you write 2 or 3 pages, then that's all good and it should be fine. It should be for you. You shouldn't have to want to share that with the world if you don't want to.
Yeah. And if you want to, then that takes courage, because someone else is going to see your soul. Someone else is going to look at what you have created, and also that can be really scary. So it takes courage to do that.
There's lots.
But it's really wonderful, because somewhere out there someone's going to read that and be like, this is just what I needed. This is exactly what I needed.
But if people would be scared to do anything, either because of age or because of these like social constructs which we've created and these falsehoods of that, no, I'm too old to try this one, I think that's the sad thing. And people who have these seeds within themselves which they do not let blossom into whatever they want it to be, out of fear.
Or thinking they can't. Maybe that's just a story they have in their mind, like I can't do this.
No, exactly. I think of like a writer, Charles Bukowski is one of my favorite writers from the mid to late 20th century, who worked in a post office most of his life, and his most famous novel is called Post Office, and he did that until he was in his mid-50s, working every day there and every night staying up and just writing his own things, until he started sending them away under different pseudonyms and stuff, and he got published, but obviously at the age of like 56 or 57. And then when his publishers and everything got picked up and he could, put his novels into published works that were selling well, then he was like, I'll just gladly quit my job at the post office, and all he did the rest of his life was drink red wine and go around doing lectures to different colleges. And you'd see him from his humble beginnings to the age of, let's say, 56, nobody knew who he was. So he'd just be around like a regular guy. But he didn't ever give up on his idea, and he was writing because he wanted to write, because he couldn't not write.
Yeah, and I think that is what, and we will figure this out, and we will explore this more with other people. But I think that is also what I take with me, that creativity is just what you want it to be. Like, it's not what everyone else wants it to be. It's what you want it to be, what you want to show, what's in you that wants to come out in some way.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, we lots of different things.
Yeah.
I think we found the end of the chapter.
Da-da-da! Are you ready for the end of the chapter?
Let me do something weird.